Hi everybody, I'm going to be doing a video today which was all based around the makeup looks that I did at a recent wedding that I went to. You all went on to Instagram and you voted for this look, and also thank you so much for all the love and feedback and comments on all the pictures that I've posted up, because honestly it just made me realise how much you guys like it when I kind of go out and dress up and you want me to show you how I create those makeup looks. So I thought I'd do that here today. And the way I'm going to be doing that is I'm going to focus on 3 of the events that I went to. So one of the first ones that I went to was the mehendi event. The second one was the actual wedding day. And then the final one was the reception. And they were quite different looks. I did do a smoky eye for 2 of those events. One event was just a pure black smoky eye, a classic. One of the events was a black smoky eye mixed with kind of fuchsia pink colours. And that was to complement the outfit that I was wearing. And then the very final one, which was for the wedding day, was a mix of kind of deep sort of red sort of browns mixed with kind of champagne colours and then copper brown colours as well, because that's kind of what the theme was for the day in terms of what I was wearing. And in terms of my base makeup stayed the same for all 3 days. So how I'm going to split that into this video today is I'm going to do my base makeup first, and then I'm going to show you the changes that I made in terms of my eyeshadow and my lipstick, because really those are the things that changed on each event. The base stayed the same, the contouring stayed the same, and so did the blusher. So really it's just concentrating on the eyes and the lips and how I changed those and made a little bit of a difference for each of the wedding day looks. Hope you enjoy this video, and let's get started. So I've prepped my skin, I've got my moisturiser on, I have a beautiful lip balm by Dr. Lip, and I've also curled my lashes and groomed my brows. I'm going to go in with the first step, which is my corrector, and I'm using a concealer for that, and it's by Tarte. It's 43N in tan. So I'm just going to add this into this area, a little bit around the mouth, because I do find that that's where I've kind of got the pigmentation. And in the pre-run up to the events as well, I am a little bit tired, and I was a bit tired then. This week has also been a crazy week for me. So I just really want my eyes and my skin to look quite fresh and brightened up and full of energy for the week. So I'm just adding this around the eye area and on the other side as well. And then I'm going to add some around this area, and then I'm just going to work that through in with a brush. So I've got a flat kind of stippling brush, and I'm just working that into my skin. So with your corrector, it's always a shade kind of darker than your skin, and then you put on a brightening concealer on top, and plus your foundation. So just working that in, you can see the difference it's already making. Some people prefer to do this with a beauty blender, and that's fine. Some people also prefer to do it with their fingers. That's okay too. Whatever is on my brush, I'm going to also add into the top of my lids, because I just want my eyeshadow to stay put. And I just feel by doing this kind of step, it's going to help it to stay on for a little bit longer, especially minimum 8 hours, because weddings and events go on for so long. And the look I'm doing, I want my base to just look absolutely perfect and immaculate for the whole duration of the time. So that's my corrector done. I'm now going to put on my foundation. I'm using the Estée Lauder foundation. This is my regular foundation that I use pretty much most of the time. I'm using this because it is a high coverage foundation, and again I just want everything to last and kind of get rid of any pigmentation, any kind of little marks I've got around my face. So I'm going to be using this one for today. So I've got this onto my hand, and I'm just going to take another brush, and I am going to be just taking that around the kind of nose area and then working out and buffing. Now by doing this step, you can put concealer on if you want at this point first and then do your foundation, but I prefer to do the foundation and then know exactly what I need and go back in. So I'm kind of adding it and I'm buffing. So that's my foundation done. I also want to be using cream kind of products to create the contour and the highlighting area on my face. So I'm going to do that straight away, and that's when my concealer comes in handy. I'm going to use my concealer, which is a lighter shade, and I'm going to put that into this area to kind of brighten up certain points. And I'm also going to be using a darker shade to chisel into kind of creating that contoured and much more sort of framed look on my face. I've got Fenty here in Truffle, and I'm going to use that for the contour and line out the parts of my face that I want to sort of contour around that chiseled look. So starting from the ear and then going 3/4 of the way in, around the temple, a little bit around the forehead, definitely around the nose, and then down the chin area. And then with my concealer, I have the 3W Medium by Estée Lauder. I'm going to be using this one to brighten up certain areas. So that's the kind of brightened areas done. I'm now going to do the darker contour areas. I'm doing my forehead because I like to reduce down kind of the space I have in that area. And then just working into the temple too. And just now with a clean brush, just blend everything through so there's no kind of sharp lines anywhere on the skin. So that's my base done. I'm now going to set it with powder. The powder I've got, I'm going to be using DELILAH Cosmetics. So with a small brush, I'm going into the smaller points in the face. And then just with a bigger one, just across the rest of the face and press that powder in. So what that does now is it's set the makeup base, and it won't break through with any grease or any natural oil coming through because the powder has cemented it back into kind of the skin. I always like to give my base a fix up twice, so I'll fix my makeup right at the end, and I also love to do that after I've done my base as well. So I'm going to be using the CAUDALIE spray here. This is the Beauty Elixir, and I'm just going to let that dry naturally, and then I'm going to get on with the eyes. So I'm going to fill in the eyes slightly now and start with the brows. I'm going to sort of darken them a little bit here, and obviously because I've been mixing the cream products and also putting on powder, my brows have gone a little bit lighter. I've got the Benefit Cosmetics brow palette. This is quite an old one. They have come up with a revised version, but it's exactly the kind of same sort of product. So just starting on the end and just creating a line at the bottom and then at the top, just to give it a frame, and then I'm going to blend that through with a spoolie, and then just around these ends areas. So I've got my spoolie here, and I'm just going to blend that in now. And of course the brows will look a little bit harsh once we've filled them in, but that's just because we haven't added any eye makeup yet. So I'm going to go in with the Master Palette. This is by Primark, not by Makeup by Mario like you may think. But I'm going to go in with these three colours because that's what I used on the day, and then with a bit of a black on the ends as well by Huda Beauty. So I'm just going to add in the lightest of the colours into the lid, and I'm just pressing and gliding down. And I'm going to take that all the way up to the top of my brow, and you'll realise why in just a few minutes. Again on the second side, and then I'm just going to use a clean brush and just blend that all through. Next up, I'm going to go in with the second colour here, and I'm going to add that into the crease. So I'm going to start from this point and then work in through. So looking straight into my mirror here, just to create my mark. And I'm going to kind of angle it down as well, so I can create a frame. And then just going straight in. And this starts to warm up and create a contoured shape using the eyeshadow for the lid. And the next side. So that's my eyes done with the kind of contour shape using the warmest sort of terracotta sort of brown colour. I'm now going to go in and add the black and just define it. I've got black truffle here in the Huda Beauty palette, and I'm going to be adding that onto the ends of my eyes and then just working that in and just blending it out. And I think I also added in cocoa as well from the palette, just into this area. So that's the shape on the ends of the eyes. I'm actually going to do the shape on the other side and then just blend everything through. So that's the first part done, and then adding in the cocoa. And then just blending that all in really nicely. So that's my eyes done. I'm now going to go in with a black liner, a gel liner I'm going to be using today because that sets into the eye area, and also just in case there's any tears today, at least it's not going to run. So that's a really important tip for when you're going to a wedding or a function where you think you're going to maybe shed a tear or two. This is a black gel pot liner and it's by Maybelline. So that's the first eye done. I'm going to go in now with the second eye. So again, just starting from the middle and then working out towards the end, and that started to create the shape. And now I'm just going to finesse it with a little bit of a wing on the end. So that's my liner done. I'm just going to add in a little bit more black and just blend it through on the ends of the eyes. And so the end of your wing liner should kind of meet the end of your eyeshadow, and then once you blend it in, it all looks kind of symmetrical and like it's part of the same eye rather than having a bit of a gap between the two. Those are my eyes done. I'm going to put on mascara now. Now actually on the day, I didn't realise, but I actually forgot to wear mascara for the wedding day look. And this is the wedding day look that I'm doing. Totally forgot to wear mascara, totally forgot to wear any eyelashes, and I only realised until like 3 o'clock that afternoon that I'd actually done that. Chaos when the kids are getting ready and you're trying to get them ready and you're trying to get yourself ready. That's what I kind of put it down to. But having said that, I didn't realise because I'd curled my lashes. So, you know, that's a really, really good point, because if you curl your lashes, they just rise up at the root. And when I looked at myself in the mirror, I just totally couldn't remember that I'd done that because they were really looking kind of full on. But I am going to put some mascara on just now. I'm going to go with my favourite by Maybelline. That's one eye done. Of course, putting on mascara does make a massive difference, but clearly on the day I just totally forgot. I'm going to put in a soft kohl by Rimmel London onto the bottom of my waterline. I had a little bit of the gel liner left on my hand, so I just used a cotton bud, added a little bit onto there and just ran that through kind of the bottom of my eyeliner, but I want to make it a little bit more prominent, so I'm going to add in this soft kohl. And that really opens up the eyes in a massive way. I'm now going to go in with some contouring using a powder-based product. I've got the Chanel Healthy Glow Sheer Powder, which I'm going to use as a contour. It's in number 50. So I'm going to use that just to kind of create some depth around the contour area. So I've got my contouring brush, and this is by Blank Canvas. And you'll see the difference that just taking this one step makes. And then a little bit around the nose. For blusher, I'm going to be using my Morphe palette, and I want a bit of a pink kind of tone to it, but not so much pink. I'm going to be using that with a bit of a peach, so I'm going to go with these two colours here. And the other side. So what we're doing is we're marrying up the apples of the cheek with the blush to the contour. So that's my blusher done. I'm also going to be putting on a bit of a highlight and finally doing my lips now. I've got my favourite Rimmel London Cappuccino lip liner here, so I'm going to add that on. I'm also going to add in a bit of the cocoa just along the bottom of the lash line, just to make it a little bit more bigger in terms of the eye. So I'm just going to start from here to kind of bridge those two areas. That just gives it a bit of warmth now. I'm going to also put in a lighter shade from the palette here by Huda in Blessed and Moondust, a mix of those two, just into the tear duct area, just to make it pop a little bit. See the difference that's made. And then a little bit on to the brow bone. Last up for my lipstick, I used the Maybelline Super Stay Matte, which is one of my favourite products. I love all the colours in this, and I'm going to be using 15 Lover. It's a pinky shade, so I wanted to kind of complement it with a darker sort of cappuccino colour of the lips on the liner. I'm just going to go straight in with that. Now that comes out looking quite pink, but once you blend the liner and the lips together, it tones down the pinkness of the colour, and it looks more like a kind of nudie pink. I've got the Revolution Pro highlighter palette. I'm going to be using those two colours just to create a little bit of highlight on the face. So just in the dip and slightly on the tip, and then I'm going to blend that upwards rather than downwards, just to lift it. I'm also going to go with a bit of that at the top part of the cheek. So the final step in this is to give it a spritz to fix all my makeup and just let that naturally dry through. This is the daytime look that I did, a really beautiful kind of brown and black contoured eye mixed with gold colours to complement the outfit I was wearing. I'm going to go in and take off my eye makeup now and also the shade of my lips, and I'm going to show you exactly how I did the mehendi look and then also the evening reception look. So the base has been completely the same for all 3 days, so I'm going to keep the base as it is, but let's get on to the second and then the third look. So now I'm going to be doing the reception look that I did, and I'm kind of doing this in reverse order so you can kind of see how I built up the makeup. The reception look and the mehendi day look was quite similar because I did do black smoky eyes on both of them. The only difference was that with the reception day look, I just kept it to a pure black smoky eye. Whereas with the mehendi day look, what I added onto there was fuchsia pinks and sort of dark plum colours into the eyes as well. And I topped it up with a really bright pink lip. On the reception day, I did a very nude kind of lip colour. So I want to show you this so that you can see how I've built it up and how you can have the option of keeping it as a subtle classic black smoky eye or just something with a variation of a colour. I've got the Maybelline gel pot here, which I'm going to use as a base for my eyeshadow, and I'm going to put that all across my lid, and then I'm going to create the eyes for the reception day look and also the lips. My base is completely the same compared to what I'd shown you previously on this video. So all really I need to change and top up on is a change of the eyes and a change of the lips. This will show you how you can create the same base, the same sort of contoured look, but it's just variations of lip colours, maybe a blush, and also the eyes. I've put the eyeliner on my hand here, and I'm going to use that to sort of dip into to create the smoky eye. To set your smoky eye, I'm going to be using this palette, which is Summer Breeze by e.l.f. Cosmetics. And I'm going to be going in with these two colours for the reception look. And then for the mehendi look, I'm going to be adding in this kind of purple colour and a shade from the Huda palette. But let's get on with the reception look, and this is how I do it. So I've got a flat brush here. I'm just going to take some of that. Now as a base on my eyes, I do have concealer, and I've set it with powder, and that's going to help my eyeshadow to stay on much longer. And you do have to work quite quick with this because this is a gel eyeliner, and I'm going really deep into my lashes, and then I'm going to be taking the black shadow here. I'm going to set that with my smoky eye. And this is why you kind of have to be quite quick. Okay, so I'm just going to get a clean brush now, and I'm just going to blend that all through. I'm going to add in this brown colour here to the top crease area, so it's kind of like a transition colour, and it then just gives it a bit of warmth at the top. So I'm now going to go in with the second eye and set the whole eye. And then finally what I'm going to do is just blend them both through. Go deep into the lash area. I'm going to add in the Rimmel Exaggerate liner just into kind of the waterline area at the top, just to make the eyes pop a little bit. Now this eyeliner is not really going to show up, but the point is that I just want a bit of depth. So now you can see it's a lot more darker, kind of nearer the eye. And that's what just makes the eyes pop a little bit. Otherwise you can kind of look quite closed down in a smoky eye. I've got the Maybelline mascara here in Big Shot Colossal. And I'm just going to add that to my lashes. Now this is an optional choice for you, whether you want to just kind of go in with a full-on length mascara or if you want to put false lashes on at this time. That's my mascara done. I am going to be added on lashes on top of this, and the reason that I do the mascara is so that if there's any fallout of the eye product or any kind of foundation on there, then at least I've kind of cleaned it up with a black mascara on top. I'm going to be adding in some of the highlighter into kind of the tear duct and into the brow area. So let me do that. I'm going to be using this one. I'm just going to blend that in just to soften it. So that's it added there. And whilst I'm at it, I'm also going to add in a little bit more into the nose area. I've got the Soft Kohl here by Rimmel, and I'm going to add that to the upper waterline and also the bottom. And then I'm also going to run through that black and that brown eyeshadow along the bottom. So I've got a small brush here, starting from the end to sort of bridge that. That's a mix of the brown and the black together. And then just with a clean brush. And if you think you've had any fallout, just wipe it up by kind of blending in some powder, and it just softens it. So I'm now going to go in with the lipstick for the reception look, and I'm going to be using the Cappuccino lip liner, and I'm also going to be using the Superstay Matte in Maybelline. This colour is 65 in Seductress. And then just going in with the lip. The reason I went with a more muted down lipstick is because the eyes are doing a lot of talking. So I kind of toned this down a little bit more. My outfit on that day was a red sari, so it was doing quite a lot of talking. So I just wanted to sort of pare things down onto my lips rather than doing too much. I'm going to put my lashes on now. These are EYLURE lashes that I'm using, and I've just used an EYLURE glue to add to the back here. Just going to wait 30 seconds for that to dry and then just add that on. So just going in with the lash. That's one lash done. It's quite a heavy and thick lash because I really wanted my eyes to do a lot of the speaking that day. And also because earlier in the day it was a civil and I'd kind of just gone with a mascara look, a lot more softer sort of look. It was quite similar to what I did for the Sabyasachi in terms of my eyes, but I used a turquoise colour instead of a sea green colour that day. And and I didn't use a lash, I just used mascara. So that's dry now. Now of course you can go with whatever length of lash you want, but this is what I went for that day. So guys, that's the final look. I hope you've enjoyed the smoky eye with the nude lip. I'm just going to give it a spritz of my CAUDALIE setting spray. And I'm just going to let that dry through naturally. So that's a reception look, a smoky eye with some muted down nude lips, because I was wearing a beautiful red colour and I wanted my outfit and my eyes to do all the talking. This forms the basis of the mehendi look that I did. So I'm actually going to keep the eyes as they are, the base as it is, and all I'm going to be doing now is wiping away the lip so I can show you the lip colour that I used for the mehendi night, and also the additional colours that I put into the eyeshadow on the eyes to kind of complement the colours that I was wearing for the mehendi day. I was wearing black, cream and a very bright shocking pink, and so what I did was I had a smoky eye that night as well, but I just added in some really deep sort of plum colours and a little bit of pink, but I kept it consistent with the smoky eye. So all I'm going to be doing in a minute is showing you how I added on the pink to kind of the crease area, and also my favourite lipstick that you've all seen me wearing on Instagram. So I've wiped away my lipstick colour and everything as you've seen it before is exactly the same. I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Cosmetics eyeshadow palette. This is in Rose Gold Sunset. And the colours that I'm going to be using is this one, just on the end here. It's got a shimmery sort of plum colour. It's definitely around the world of pinks. And that's what I used on the crease area. So I'm going to show you that. And I also mix that in with the Huda Beauty palette, so I'm going to show you that as well. So I've got the Huda palette here, and I'm going to start off with these two colours here, two of my favourites, Risque and Dollface. Now the brown that I've kept on the crease, that kind of is the underlying colour that I would use for any smoky eye base that I would do. So even if I was doing like a black and blue smoky eye, I would keep it consistent to how I've done it now, and then I would add the colour on top. So I'm just getting my brush and I'm mixing in those two colours from the Huda Beauty palette, and I'm just going to go in starting from the end and working in towards the crease, and I'm starting on the end of the kind of eye but towards the sort of like the end of the crease area and working inwards rather than into the lid. I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side before I start to blend them through. This is a great tip if you want to change your eyeshadow. If you're going to a morning event, or let's say you're going to kind of an evening party and it's carrying on and really late into the night, you can kind of do this. Or if you just wanted to wear a subtle smoky eye during the daytime, you could do this and then change it up for the night. I'm going to go back in with the brown that I originally had in the previous e.l.f. Cosmetics eyeshadow palette, and I'm just going to sweep that across the top. Now if you think you've gone up too far, don't worry, you can just kind of soften that out with a potted bud or a clean brush. You can take them off, but I'm just showing you how you could do it to sort of build it up. So for those of you that remember, this was also the makeup look that I did on the same day that I went to the Glam Glow event for their Moisture Trip launch. And this is what I wore previously when I went with my English attire, and then when I changed it up to my sari later in the evening. I'm also going to be using the Les Macroons L'Oreal Ultra Matte Stay Lipstick. This is in 828. I'm going to add on my favourite Cappuccino lip liner, and the reason that I put this liner on all the time is because I just like that it's a similar colour to my lips and it's just a slightly shade darker, so it kind of defines out my lips and just keeps them all looking a little bit more fuller. And then I add on the lipstick on top so that it can kind of seal it all together. So that's the liner done, and now just adding in this luscious colour. Wow, gorgeousness. Now this was my final look, but you can go even stronger on the eyes if you want to. You could add in a really beautiful glittery pink onto top of the smoky eye, or you could kind of use an eyeshadow colour like that as well. And you can also perhaps even add it into the bottom of the kind of waterline. I prefer to keep the look as is because I knew my lipstick was really strong and I just wanted a subtleness of pink kind of showing up through the eyes, but the basis I wanted it to be a black smoky eye because I was wearing black, I was wearing it with cream and that dark fuchsia pink. I hope you've enjoyed these videos that I've done. It's kind of like 3 looks into one. I have sort of like worked the other way around. So instead of doing the mehendi look, then the wedding day look, and then the evening look in sequence, I've gone from kind of doing the wedding day look to showing you the reception look and the mehendi sequence. And the reason that I've done that is so that you can see how you build your makeup up across the 3 days. Now for me, I love wearing any amount of makeup on any occasion, and I'm okay with that. And depending on what your personal choice and preference is, you should do what feels comfortable to you. I just want to say thank you so much for voting for this video on Instagram. If you like it, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, leave your comments down below, let me know what other videos you want as well. And I've got some really special prize giveaways coming up soon, so don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel because they'll be coming in the next few weeks. For now, take care and I'll see you next time. Bye.